yeah, 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 yeah. Step into the den where the stories ignite. Legends in the making, all the ones in the light. They walk through the fire, they've danced with the fight. Barely holding back, but their words take flight. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no fluff, every word is clean. From the top of the game to the ones unseen. Barely legends where the dream gets me. Yeah, we got tales from the rise and the climb so steep. Bars of wisdom hidden in the secrets they keep. Mic in the hand, truth rolls so deep. Barely legends waking giants from sleep. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no fluff, every word is clean. From the top of the game to the ones unseen. Barely legends where the dream gets me. Barely scratching the surface, but
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of Barely Legends of Barely Maintaining. Today we have an awesome guest, president of the Iowa Wolves, Drew Van Meeteren. Hopefully I'm saying that right. We had an awesome talk about, he's a huge Bears fan, so we got to talk about that, which is really cool. We also got to talk about what it is to be a president and how he ended up in the job. So let's roll the intro music and get to the interview.
Yeah, step into the den where the stories ignite. Legends in the making, all the ones in the light. They walk through the fire, they've danced with the fight. Barely holding back, but their words take flight. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no fluff, every word is clean. From the top of the game to the ones unseen. Barely legends where the dream gets me. Yeah, we got tales from the rise and the climb so steep. Bars of wisdom hidden in the secrets they keep. Mic in the hand, truth rolls so deep. Barely legends waking giants from sleep. Barely legends, yeah, we're breaking the scene. Raw truth, no fluff, every word is
We'll
clean.
jump right in.
From
Do
the
you
top
want to get into the fun side of things, or do you want to get into?
I don't care. Dude, I'll talk about anything.
All
So,
right. Well,
I,
first I want to dive into you because
Sure.
you got a cool background. You were in some of the PGA stuff, working with them. Then you got into being a president for a G League team, which is also really cool. How does all of that happen for you?
that is a really great question and very unconventional. So I'll give you the short story as much as I can. So most of my career is financial services. Spent most of my career in corporate America. I come from a golf family. I actually played golf in college. Went to nationals on my own, D3. Not that big a deal, but D3 nonetheless. Um, we had twins, and my daughter got pneumococcal meningitis. Long story. She passes at the age of 5.
Oh.
Fund at the local children's hospital to benefit parents with special needs kids because brain waiver programs, a lot of programs don't cover the cost of those equipment, and it makes a huge difference. Long story short, I knew how to put on a golf tournament, so that was my fundraiser. 9 years later, we'd raised $250,000. It was absolutely the most satisfying thing I've ever done in my life. The cards, the letters I'd get from kids. So I had this itch to make a difference in the community, and how do I do that, right? And so I found myself at the PGA Tour. Complete shift in my career, and threw basically everything away that I had done, but I really didn't throw it away because I was using it in a different capacity. And went to go work for the PGA Tour on their Corn Ferry Tour. I became a tournament director, running the tournament in Kansas City. I'd started in Savannah, Georgia, starting up what was a web.com event then. And then the tour asked me to go to Kansas City and take over that event. So I spent the last 5 to 6 years really taking what I had done for my daughter's golf tournament to a whole nother level with the PGA Tour. Because if you know what the PGA Tour is all about, it's giving back to the local communities in
Right.
which these tournaments take place, right? That's the whole
Yeah.
model. And honestly, that was exactly what I was doing. It's just on a much smaller level for my daughter's benefit. And it was awesome. I was living the dream, right? I mean, I grew up as a huge golf fan. Here I am running a tournament for the path of the PGA Tour. You know, the next Jordan Spieth kind of thing is coming through Kansas City, and I'm essentially running a business. That's all it really is, right?
Mhm.
You're running a small to medium sized business And it just happens to be the product of golf. And then speed ahead, I needed to get back to Des Moines to help my wife, and her mother was ailing, and so I needed to move back to the Des Moines area, and just happened to right place, right time to fall into this position as president of business operations for the Iowa Wolves, part of the G League franchise of Minnesota Timberwolves. Again, same job, it's just a different product. Absolutely love what I do. We Again, it's all about the fan experience, and it's all about what we do in the community that really drives me on a day-to-day basis. There's so much that we do that has nothing to do with basketball, but we use this platform for the betterment of the community. So absolutely love that connection.
Yeah. You said there's a lot of things you do that aren't connected to basketball. So it's been interesting learning from a couple different like levels. So I've gotten to talk to the president of the Iowa Heartlanders, the president of the local Quad City Storm here, and it's kind of interesting the different levels that the president kind of manages with the team or more goes towards, business operations. How do you how does it work for you guys? Are you at all hands on with the actual basketball game ops, or are you mostly on the business management side, or how does that balance for you?
Yeah. So, how the NBA works, you have basketball operations and business
Mhm.
operations. All of the basketball operations, player transactions, dealing with all the players is handled by the GM in Minneapolis. So I don't have to deal with any player transactions, any player movement. I'm aware of them. But essentially, then everything else that happens is falls under my discretion and direction. So whether it's what your in-game experience is like, what we're doing in the community, I'm, for all intents and purposes, like I said before, running the business side of this,
Mhm.
right? So I have to worry about making our operation profitable and watching all of those things that go into running a business. But player side of things, I don't have to worry about it, and I can't control what the product is on the floor per se.
Yeah.
I can make my wishes to say, hey, keep our two ways here, those kind of things, because that obviously helps when we can have a good product on the floor.
Right.
But all of the basketball side of things is handled through Minneapolis.
Yeah. You mentioned it a little bit, but it's got to make your job a little easier when you guys are second in the conference right now, playing
Yeah,
some
we
pretty
got
good
we got off
basketball.
to a good start. And actually, it's really funny about basketball is a little different than baseball in terms of farm system, and you see guys grow from single to double to triple kind of
Right.
deal. But it's different here, right? So for all intents and purposes, our team is completely turned over from last year,
Right.
and I really love our team. They're solid. There's a good culture. We have a new coach this year, and they're a great team to watch. We have scored 156 points twice this year, which is
Yeah.
a franchise record and 2 points shy of the G League record,
Yeah.
right? So we get up and down the floor. The pace is awesome, and so yeah, from something I can't control, it's really fun to have a really good product on the floor this year.
Yeah. One thing I did want to ask you too, how did you guys hide Luca Garza?
So Luca's a needle in a haystack in
Yeah.
terms of from a business operations perspective, right? I commonly look back on some stats and some graphs, and I say, well, that's the Luca effect that's happening right there, right? Because I always give the GM a hard time. I'm like, hey, give me some local players, would you?
Yeah.
Because that moves the needle for us, right? It's crazy. So yeah, I wasn't here when Luca was originally signed, but it was certainly a needle mover for us. Just
Yeah.
like when we had preseason games, right? Like we had the preseason game last October. It was huge for us, right? We
Right.
sold a lot of season tickets because of that and so forth. But yeah, I'm always looking for those local guys. But the funny thing is like you gotta look at the roster of visiting teams as well, right? I
Right.
mean, there are a lot of guys you might know that are on the visiting teams as well. And I keep telling people, I'm like, this, we're such a D1 state, right? So it's like if you love college basketball, well, this is the cream of the crop, right? These are all the best players. And so, you know, you you run down the list of where these guys are coming in from college wise. It's like this is some really awesome
Yeah.
basketball that you get a really close seat for. I mean, the talent out here is just crazy. I mean, they're just a phone call away,
Yeah.
right, from going and playing the NBA. So
Yeah. You mentioned earlier too that you kind of manage promotional stuff too. how does that work for the G League? Because I know like closer to me, it's mostly it's not secondary level sports. It's kind of the third or fourth level of the sport. And how and it's a lot of like it's for the fans. Like it's a lot of for the fans. Not saying that you're not, but like those guys have a pretty big shot to like they have a lot further to go to get to anywhere up high. Whereas you're literally right below. Like you could
Yeah.
any day somebody could get called up to go there. How does that manage for you guys to build in kind of that fan section of things compared to, you also have to really focus on the actual game. And I know you said you're kind of hands off of the actual
Yeah,
game,
no,
but how
yeah.
does that work?
Yeah, no, it's a fair question and a good question. And when you have two ways or assignments, those guys technically are Timberwolves players,
Mhm.
right? So you're actually seeing guys that are on the Timberwolves, right? It's not uncommon for us to get an assignment player, right?
Right.
Tonight, Juan Berenger, right, our first round draft pick from France, is playing with us tonight, right? He's
Mhm.
just an assignment, right? And um, people got to get reps, right? They got to get down there. They got to get reps, right? And they need to be seen. I mean, a lot of these young kids don't realize that the Timberwolves may not be their final stop or their next stop,
Right.
right? And so they got to be seen. And that's the thing I always said about Garza. I'm like, you know, as much as Garza wanted to get to the Timberwolves, I'm like, you're better off being seen because if nothing else, somebody in Europe's going to pick you up for a multi-million-dollar contract, and you'll be the local hero in whatever European town that is.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to your question. Um, one of our responsibilities, and this was the same with the PGA Tour, is to prepare these guys for the next level. Okay, well, what does that mean? That means everything. That means dealing with media. That means dealing with our sponsors. That means getting them in front of a crowd where they have crowd noise to deal with, right? And so all of these things are our responsibility to prepare these guys for. Now, the flip side of it is we are still the minor leagues, so we can be really creative and we can
Mhm.
be fun. And everything is, I just did an interview with KCCI today. It's all about the fan experience. That's what we're about, right? So we get a little leeway in terms of being really thinking outside the box and
Right.
being crazy with stuff we do. We're introducing a new pup playground next week, right? It's all about these inflatables and fun things for these kids to do, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about we have our hoop heads, but our core audience is families with 2.5 kids, right? They
Yeah.
just want a fun, good time, and if they go home smiling and they have no idea what the score was, we've done our job,
Right.
right? And so that's the fun piece is that you know, I always tell my staff, I say, careful what you wish for, because if you want to go to the next level, grass isn't always greener because your role becomes much narrow. And who you get the best players in the world, and you get to be really fun and creative and do silly crap that you're not going to be able to do when you go to the Timberwolves,
Yeah.
right? Because it becomes more of an entertainment product up there. So yeah, it's a fun mix. My staff has a great time doing it just because we can be a little fun and creative, and
Yeah.
the fans love it because we can be a little outside the box and do crazy stuff.
Yeah. You mentioned your staff kind of wishing for greener grass sometimes on the other side if they got up to the levels up there. I find it just an enjoyable question because like I think it's a lot of people don't think about it. How do you deal with movement of staff like that? Because like this isn't necessarily their end goal either. Where you got to balance players and then also the staff is might be trying to reach for higher grounds. How do you deal with that? How is the turnover for that?
It's all about the perspective you take. So my perspective is I feel like a parent half the time, right? In my role, I've been around long enough now that I've managed a lot of people, and I know what my role is as a people leader. And I take the same kind of philosophy as a coach would or Minnesota would relative to the farm system, right? I look
Hmm.
at my staff. I'm here to get them to develop, and if they're able to go on and pursue their dream after this, I've done my job,
Yeah.
right? And so, yeah, it makes my job hard at the same time because you don't want to be backfilling all the time.
Right.
Uh, but the really interesting thing is, knock on wood, I haven't had a lot of turnover because people just kind of love the environment, and they do realize that if you think about all the many hats you have to wear at this level, they realize that those hats become one when they don't get a chance to dabble in all of the fun
Yeah.
things, right? So that's that's keeping a lot of people here right now. But I take the perspective of, hey, if I've gotten you to a point where you can go on and pursue other dreams, then we've done a good job.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yep.
Doesn't get as stagnant when you get to kind of mess around in so many different
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. It's fun to get, some young people in here that are, learning the ropes, and you can help them, in their journey. Right. And that's where the parent comes in a lot for me.
Yeah. So what are your kind of goals for short term and long term for the year or and then longer for you to kind of help build the team a little bit?
Yeah, I go back to what I said earlier. It's all about the fan, right?
Mhm.
So for us, it's really trying to sell out this place, and I mean, obviously, I got a big arena here at
Mm.
Casey Center. I'm not going to sell out 15,000 seats, but if
Yeah.
I can sell out this lower bowl of 5,500, that's awesome, right? And become a, our. I talk about a lot about what we do on and off the court, right? And for us, it's being a part of the fabric of this community, right? We spend just as much time on things that we're doing in the community than we do during the game, or
Mhm.
during anything that's going on the floor here. And so for us, it's really how can we continue to be a big part of what this community is about, right? I take our as a good example. We have a Read to Achieve program in partnership with Athene. This is an opportunity where we provide a reading curriculum program to all the schools in Iowa that want to participate. We have 12,000 students that participate in this program, and all it is it's a program to incent kids to read,
Yeah.
right? And they get incented to read minutes, right? And so the school that has the largest number of minutes at the end of this program gets a pizza party with Alpha, right? And so we come to the school, and Alpha comes to the school, and we provide pizza. You think it's the best thing ever. These kids are just like all about Alpha showing up with pizza, right? And if
Yeah.
that's what we can do to encourage kids to read, the stories we get about some of these from teachers that are like, I could never get Ryan to read, right? But now Ryan reads all the time because he wants Alpha to come and give him a piece of pizza, right?
Yeah.
It's like great, right? So it's that's just a small example of the things that we're trying to do in the community to make a difference, right? And obviously, we take the players out and do all kinds of things in the community as well. So, I mean, that's really what it's all about. I don't. You're not going to hear me say, "Oh, yeah, I'd love to win a championship" or those kind of things. That comes and goes, right?
Yeah.
But what we can do in the community, and for the community to support us then in return, because we're good citizens. And people want to come out and have a good time. That's all. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, I wanted you wanted to get into the Bears, so I want to get into the Bears with you
Let's
too.
go. I was hoping this
Yeah.
was going to be
Yeah.
after a W last week. I don't know
Yeah.
how they blew that at the end. That was
Yeah.
I'm still upset at the ending
Yeah.
last week. I thought we were going to win that game.
Yeah. I want to start at the beginning for you. What were you hoping for and expecting for out of the season this year?
Not this.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about, hey, we're still happy. Even this wasn't expected, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, I still have my doubts with Caleb a little bit. Maybe I don't know. He's still learning, but I think we got the right coach,
Mhm.
and I think that's going to make a world of difference. Already has.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I remember the days of. Now you keep in mind, I grew up in Northwest Iowa, where everybody's a Vikings fan, right?
Yep.
So I had to struggle to be a Bears fan as a kid. But I remember the days going up to, I think was it called Metropolitan Stadium in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
where the Vikings would play, right?
Yep.
Sitting outside, freezing my butt off. And I remember being in the hotel where the Bears were, and I think I got an autograph from, was it Virgil Vivers or whatever Virgil's name was back
Yeah.
then? All those Bears, right? I think that was close to the Super Bowl era. So I remember getting all their autographs. So those are the good old days. But yeah, I mean, I'm pleasantly but I'm really nervous because the final games are hard.
Yeah.
They could go over, or they could. I don't know. I mean, it's right out in front of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited but cautious.
All I asked for was I was really hoping for a winning season, and now we're kind of playing with house money at this point.
Yeah, a
Like
little bit.
at
Yeah.
this point, it's like okay, let's see some improvement. Like let's see everybody. But I think you're right. Like you still see doubts a little bit in Caleb, where it's like okay, he's still growing. But also I think back to last year, where it's like you hear all the things that came out that, like, they didn't even wanna work with him in film, and he's kinda doing it all by himself. I think the biggest thing they did was brought Keith Keenum in to be like, "Hey, this is
Yeah,
how you actually be an NFL quarterback. Like, this is how you read film and stuff like that." I
yeah,
was
that's good.
screaming from the rooftops of why would your only quarterbacks in the room be a guy that has a year and a rookie? Like,
Right,
that makes no
yeah,
neither of
right,
them know how to be a quarterback in the NFL. It
yeah,
makes no sense. So I
yeah,
was very
yeah, that
excited.
was a good move.
Yeah,
Yeah, if they could squeeze out a playoff spot here, I think that would be huge for their psyche, huge for their preparation for next year, and would be, a reward for their effort this year.
yeah, yeah. What do you I mean, what were you kinda gave a little bit of it. What were your thoughts going into the like, after the game of the Green Bay? Like, 'cause I didn't feel defeated. Like,
Yeah,
we
I thought
lost, but
they could have rolled over pretty quickly in that game,
yeah,
right? I mean, they got punched in the mouth pretty quick in that game. Wasn't it 14-0 if I remember
it
right?
was 14-3 at half.
14-3,
Yeah,
yeah. So, but they fought back, right?
yeah,
I didn't think they would fight back to have a chance at the end. I really didn't.
yeah,
I thought they were gonna just be too far behind and, just weren't able to get so, yeah, I felt the same way. I'm like, "Well, yeah, we lost, but I feel pretty good about a loss, if that's possible."
yeah,
Uh, so, yeah, so who's this week? Cleveland,
yep,
that's a must win,
yep.
right? Because then we have Green Bay, San Francisco,
I think Lions again.
Lions,
Yep,
yeah. So, I mean, there are gonna be 3 teams fighting for a playoff
yeah,
spot there. So gotta get this one and then see what happens, so,
yeah. Well, we play Mount Rushmore on the
yep.
podcast, and since you're such a big Bears fan, I'd love to hear top 4 Bears fans or Bears players that you've loved over
Uh,
the years.
I mean, Peyton is Peyton is
Oh,
Peyton. I
yeah.
mean, that was my era. It's like Jordan, 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 right? I mean,
Right.
Walter Payton. I almost stopped there. It's like that is the mountain, right? I mean,
Right.
that mean it's like I mean, when I grew up, that was really that was he was it, right? It was
Yeah.
sweetness all the time, right? I don't know how much stuff Peyton stuff I had as a kid, right? Uh, and then I think about some of the McMichael and those guys, right? That defense was so good,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can come up with 4. I mean, it was so much about sweetness back then
Yeah.
that,
Hey, we can put, Walter Payton's face up there 4 times. I
yeah,
mean, that's
I'm
just
good
fine.
with one big mountain for Walter, man, and, a class guy at the end of the day too, right? And,
Yes,
I'm
definitely.
glad to see there's still an award in his name. I
Yeah,
think it's pretty cool.
and his kids just seem to be just the same as him. They're just
Yeah,
kind of, like,
yeah,
all about
yeah,
the
exactly. What's on
award.
yours?
So I grew up with, like, the Urlacher, he
Yep,
was obviously up there. I had, like, his they had a picture going around for a long time that was either like, a lot of it was either Jordan or Urlacher for Chicago, but, like, his arm span,
yep,
basically, so I had that on the
yep,
top of my room, I remember that.
yep,
Um, and I have Walter up there even though most of it's just, like, obviously highlights and kind of stories from, family and stuff like that that grew up
yeah,
Bears fans, but
yep.
it's hard not to be a Bears fan and not go back and just at least watch those and, like, see that. Um
I'm not putting Jim McMahon up there as much as he was entertaining, but, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peanut Tillman was one of my favorites
Yep,
too, and, the 4th one's always tough though, because there's a couple players that, like, are on like that. Like, I loved Matt Forte, I thought he was fun to watch. I loved
yep,
Briggs, I thought he was cool.
yep.
Um,
Yeah, he was good.
yeah. And then you, like, think about, like, Julius Peppers, how good he was for the
Singletary, you gotta
yeah,
put Singletary in that
yeah,
conversation, right? He was solid.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
you go back to, like, through history too, and you think of, like, Mike Ditka's and stuff like that
Oh,
too,
yeah,
like, things like that.
yeah,
So it's tough. I'm with you, like,
yeah.
it's once you get past a couple, it's like, I love a lot of them. Like, I would never put him on my Mount Rushmore, but I love Jay Cutler. I think he was like, as much as he didn't care
That's a funny one. You're
yeah,
gonna get a lot of different opinions on that one.
yeah, as much
Yeah.
as he didn't care, it was also like, he just out there slinging it and just having
Yep.
fun, like,
Yeah,
having fun in quotations because it's like, it didn't look like he was having fun by any
yeah,
means, and just
yeah,
kinda
yeah,
looked
for
like he
sure.
hated life, but it was just still
Yeah.
cool to watch, but
No
yeah.
nothing happened to him after the Bears, though.
No. No.
Yep.
No, I think he played in Miami for like 2 years and then was
Yeah.
like, "No, I'm done. This
Yep.
isn't for me anyways."
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's always yeah. So I grew up in that era of like that being kind of I got kind of spoiled there a little bit too. We made the one run, but other than that, it kind of fell
Yeah.
off. But always been a
So
huge
so
fan.
Cleveland's on the road, right?
No, I think we host them. I think
Cleveland's at
it's
home.
yep,
Okay, so Green Bay's at home. The other 2 are on the road?
yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
What do you got, 2 and 2?
I'm hoping so. I hope we get the split with the Packers. I'm hoping we get the. We should. I mean, the defense is always scary, and Miles Garrett's going to be going for that record for the
Yeah,
sacks. But I think we
yeah.
should get that one. But I'm hoping we go 3-1. I would love to go 3-1 in it.
Which one are you getting, San Francisco?
Lions. I want to
You're
get
gonna
the
get the
Lions back.
Lions? Lions are gonna need that game.
Yeah, and that's where it gets tough. But I think for
Yeah,
sure 2-2 is what you should go.
yeah.
Because you really want to get Packers back, and I really don't want to hear how much they just own Chicago, and
No,
I don't need that for me. And I think
no,
Packers fans
no.
are honestly like I've seen more reasonable stuff out of them too, where they're like, no, like this isn't the same Bears. Like this is actually going to be a fun rivalry again, which is what I'm the most excited for.
Yeah,
Is like this
yeah,
game actually means something again, and it's
yeah.
not just
No, it's good. I'm excited to have him as a coach, and we'll see where we go.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
coming up on time here. I appreciate you being on.
Oh, anytime. Happy to do it.
If the Bears make the playoffs, I'm having you on again, and we're gonna talk about what we expect because
Yeah, we can do that,
we're gonna
and,
see what happens with it.
if you find yourself in the area, we'll do a live podcast from here. That would
Yes,
be awesome.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna cut this too. I've just been